Welcome to another education presentation from the MEFM Society of BC. We have partnered with the Disability Alliance of BC to provide some introductory material on applying for the disability tax credit. This educational content is also developed with the support from the Wickerson Foundation. This information session will present the following. What is the disability tax credit? Why get it? How to qualify? How to start the process? And some helpful tips for qualifying. Please pause or restart this recording as you need to. With us today is Cynthia Min from the Disability Alliance of BC. Cynthia, thank you for joining us to help share this information to our community.
Thank you for having me. What is the DTC? The DTC is a non-refundable tax credit that helps reduce taxes owing. This means if you don't owe any taxes, you won't get any money back, but you can claim the credit up to 10 years before you apply. And any unused credit amounts can be transferred to a caregiver to help reduce their taxes. Even if you don't owe any taxes, you can get other helpful benefits. Some of the benefits include the Canada Worker Benefit Disability Supplement, and that's for low-income workers. Another one would be the Child Disability Benefit. So if anybody has a child and receives the Canada Child Benefit, if their child has a DTC, they would get what's called a Child Disability Benefit, which is a top-up, and the Registered Disability Savings Plan, a long-term savings plan designed to help boost the long-term financial security of people with disabilities and allows people to access up to $90,000 in government contributions. How to qualify for the DTC? The DTC has no age restrictions, which means you can apply from birth until very late in life. It also doesn't have to do with whether someone can go to work or school, and it does not depend on income or assets. Someone can apply if they are not working or if they are working with a very high salary. They can have no assets or they can have a lot of assets. To qualify, you must have a health condition that is considered severe and prolonged. This condition can be mental or physical. What does prolonged mean? Well, prolonged means that restrictions have lasted or will last at least 1 year. What does severe mean? Severe means either 1, a marked restriction, which means you are very restricted in a basic activity of daily living. You can't do the activity, it takes you a lot longer to do the activity, or you need a lot of help to do the activity. You may qualify also if you have a cumulative effect of significant restrictions. This means you're restricted a little less, but in 2 or more of the activities, and the cumulative effect is equal to a marked restriction. The third way you can qualify is if you are requiring life-sustaining therapy. That is therapy that supports a vital function and takes up a lot of time. Right now, that means 2 days a week for 14 hours a week. We talked about being restricted in basic activities of daily living. What are those categories? The categories are vision, speaking, eating and making food, hearing, walking, eliminating, dressing, or mental functions necessary for everyday life. The way you start is you can either fill out the application form by paper or by using the digital form made available to medical practitioners online. Using the paper form, you would use form T2201, also called the Disability Tax Credit Certificate. You would fill out section A of the form, and then you would take the form to a medical practitioner to fill out part B of the form. Once completed, you would send in the form to the CRA by mail or online. You can also apply digitally by filling out the first section of the form online if you have a My Account, or by calling the CRA to get a reference number. You can then ask your medical practitioner to fill out Part B of the form with a digital application online. Give them your reference number if you have it. Then send in a completed form to the CRA by mail or online. If your practitioner has your reference number, they can also submit your form online on your behalf. To help you with your form, you have to go to a qualified medical practitioner. It's not just your medical doctor that can help you with the form. Medical doctors and nurse practitioners can certify all categories of the form, but if you have a disability in a specific category, you can also seek support from other practitioners that you might be seeing. For example, optometrists can certify vision, physiotherapists can certify walking, occupational therapists can certify walking, feeding, or dressing, or the cumulative effect of all these, and psychologists can certify mental functions necessary for everyday life. There's no preferred medical professional, so you can ask anyone that is close to you and knows your situation in order to apply. If you have ME and FM, here are some examples that might help you with your application. If you feel like you have restrictions in walking, you might have examples on your form that read something like this. Due to post-exertional malaise, you may have difficulty walking several blocks at a time and may require a significant amount of bed rest to recover and or have an inability to leave the home at times. In feeding and dressing, you may experience episodes of profound fatigue, joint or muscle pain, problems with balance, or experience frequent dizziness that impacts your physical capacity to prepare meals or dress. And you may need assistance at times to do these activities. Mental functions necessary for everyday life. You may experience brain fog or restrictions in cognitive functioning that impact your concentration when you're having conversations or performing simple tasks. Your cognitive dysfunction may impact your memory or means to communicate. If you experience any, all, or even more of these symptoms, you can tell your medical practitioner very specific examples about how you're restricted in your everyday living. Remember, if you experience episodic but persistent symptoms that can severely impact your daily functioning, you may still qualify. So these moments are still important to talk to your medical practitioner about. If you need support, advocates at DABC provide one-to-one support with the application, and we can help you synthesize things that you might be going on in your daily living and articulate them in words that are going to be relevant to the form. DABC has also developed an online DTC tool that can also help. You'd fill out the questionnaire, and the tool will generate documents that you can take to your medical appointment. I will just briefly show you the DTC tool. Our disability tax credit app is at disabilityalliancebc.org/DTC-APP. Let's say you have a restriction in walking. You are able to walk. You walk slowly. You need to stop walking and rest frequently. Difficulty going up and down stairs, and difficulty walking up and down an incline. You can also put more information here if needed. You may experience extreme fatigue, some pain, some numbness. And this happens most of the time. It might take you 2 times longer. And you might need to rest every 2 blocks. You might be seeing a physiotherapist and occupational therapist. and this has happened since 2010. The tool will take you through each of the categories that you have restrictions in. Once you complete the questionnaire, it'll take you to a page that will allow you to further personalize your documents. So you can put your full name into the documents if you wish, your date of birth, and the name of your health professional that's helping you with the DTC application. Once you're completed, it will take you to a page and will generate a PDF that you can take to your medical practitioner to help them apply for the DTC using information that you provided about your daily restrictions. Simply download your PDF. I'll open the PDF right now, and there will be a little bit of scrolling involved in the next portion of our video. The application will walk you through next steps for submitting your application to the CRA. It'll tell your medical practitioner a little bit more about the DTC and how you may qualify. And the answers that you put into the questionnaire will be inputted into an infective impairment document that you can take to your medical practitioner to help them understand a little bit more about what you go through daily in the categories that are relevant to the form. So now that you've filled out your application with your doctor and you've submitted it to the CRA, what happens? Well, one of three things might happen. If the CRA has additional questions or want more examples to help fill out your application, they might send an additional questionnaire straight to your medical practitioner to ask them more questions about your restrictions. We recommend in this scenario for your medical practitioner to stay consistent, but be more detailed in how you're restricted in daily living. You might be also approved for your DTC. That can happen for an indefinite amount of time, have permanent eligibility, or more commonly, you might find that you are eligible for a number of years. That means that you will have to reapply after eligibility is ending. You might also find that you are denied, but a denial does not necessarily mean that you are not eligible, and it's not the end of the road. There are a few options that you can take when you're denied. You can add more medical information with your doctor or your medical practitioner, or if you feel like your application should have been approved, you have 90 days to submit a formal objection, either to the Chief of Appeals or to tax court. Remember, keep copies of your original application in case you need to refer to it later. We are here to help. If you have any questions or would like further support with your disability tax credit application, do not hesitate to call us at 604-872-1278 or toll free at 1-800-663-1278. You can also reach us by email at rdsp@disabilityalliancebc.org, or you can visit our website for more information about the DTC and RDSP and other programs that we offer at disabilityalliancebc.org. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Cynthia. You have shared some valuable introductory information to our community about the DTC. For our listeners, please revisit this recording as you need to, and consider to share it with a friend or family member who might be helping you with this process. For more support from us at the ME/FM Society of BC, please visit our website, or you can email us at any time at support@mefm.bc.ca. Thanks.